I kind of like that guy Solomon, man. You know, because Solomon was called the wisest man that ever lived. The Lord asked him what he wanted. He said, I don't know how to come in or how to go out. Give me the wisdom to judge thy people. The Lord was so pleased to hear him ask for a little and unselfish thing that he gave him wisdom and all kinds of cool stuff he didn't even ask for, like a Lamborghini, fur coat, hush puppies. Well, no. He didn't give him all that stuff. But he gave him all kind of riches and all the women. Well, all the women came later when he got old. Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, those are attributed to him. Some good advice in those scripts. People came from all over the place to hear him talk about the Lord and the Lord's words of wisdom. The dude built a bad crib for the Lord during his time. I think as he got old, he became a player. And he started building all kinds of altars to strange gods, trying to please all those wives and concubines. He built a prototype of the temple that will eventually be built by Zerubbabel and the rest of the immortals later on down the line. What about you? Anybody else you like? I like that prophet Isaiah, man. And here's why I like him, man. Because when Isaiah was the prophet, it was during the time of several kings, actually. But one king that comes to my mind is King Hezekiah. I like that prophet Isaiah. Now, Isaiah was a prophet during a rule of several kings. One king that comes to my mind is King Hezekiah, who was the only person who went from being dead in a few minutes to dying 15 years later. The Assyrians was giving Judah the blues. Their king Sennacherib was taking stuff and bad-mouthing what he thought was Judah's people and king. He didn't know he was bad-mouthing God. And one angel killed 185,000 of Sennacherib's men overnight. They just didn't pay to bad-mouth God. Isaiah talks about both comings of Jesus, his birth and his coming for the big payback. That's the second coming. Isaiah talks about the birth, death, resurrection, and second coming of Jesus. The curse and gathering of Israel, the 1,000-year rest, the day of rest, and he spoke of John the Baptist. He talks about Jesus as God in the flesh. Yeah, but what about Elijah, man? Now, I like that dude Elijah. Because, see, he was the prophet during the time of King Ahab of the 10 tribes called Israel. See, that's after the split. You know, the Lord had split the 12 tribes after Solomon's reign, right? 10 of them became known as Israel, and 2 became known as Judah. Later on, the Levites had to go join Judah because you had to have a priest when Jesus came on the scene, right? Well, Elijah had his hands full with that wicked King Ahab, and then the dude married an equally wicked woman named Jezebel. A lot of people think Jezebel was a harlot, but she was just wicked, man. I mean, she had her husband, Ahab. The broad was just wicked. She even had her own prophets of Baal. Elijah was so cool that he didn't shop at Walmart or Kroger's, man. The ravens brought him food, and he just drank water at a brook. He had to go grocery shopping or nothing. Elijah was telling Ahab to stop doing crazy stuff, right? Ahab had the nerve to try and blame Israel's trouble on Elijah. Elijah said, look, dude, I mean, your highness, gather the people and bring me your prophets of Baal that eat at Jezebel's table. Let's have a showdown at Mount Carmel. Dun, 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 dun. So Ahab did that thing, right? Elijah said, all right, y'all put your cut up bullocks on the fire and don't light it. And I will do the same thing. And let's see whose God will answer with fire. The God who answers by fire, let him be the God. So the Baal dudes prepared their altar to their God and got busy doing the bus stop and the hustle. And even started to walk you out, right? Nothing. Elijah started mocking them. Perhaps your God is in the bathroom or on his cell phone. Maybe his cell phone went dead and he went to look for a battery. remember, he just don't like y'all no more. So the Baal dudes started cutting each other, right? Bleeding all over the place and speaking in tongues and pop locking. Still nothing, right? So Elijah did his thing with the altar to the Lord. He put the cut up bullocks on the wood, made a trench around the wood, put 12 stones around the trench, and then asked people to throw a lot of the water on the wood that filled the trench. He prayed to God, and God sent fire that burned up the bullock, the rock, the water, the wood, and the dust that was trying to be left. Elijah said to the people, "Get the bell, dudes. Don't let none escape." I like that dude Stephen, man. Stephen was a cool apostle. He was full of faith and power, and he did great wonders and miracles among the people. One day, certain sects of a synagogue was disputing with Stephen. When you doing right, man, you always have haters who are mad because they say, "Oh, you just can't do the Lord's laws and statutes." And here's somebody proving them wrong, right? Anyway, they were trying to bust Stephen out. They couldn't hang with the dude because he had that knowledge from the Lord.